Rain over the Australia Day long weekend was a welcome relief.
I love it. It's a change, it's a novelty. And it's great for the greenness of Townsville.
Oh man, we need it so badly. We haven't had rain like this for like 3 or 4 years. Yeah, this is amazing.
But that rain didn't let up. Flash flooding inundating Blue Water homes first.
The shed down the back's gone, the ute's gone. I can't even get under the house now. Unbelievable.
Yeah, it's finished. Upstairs is alright, but downstairs is a cactus.
An emergency was officially declared on February 1st. The Ross River Dam passing 100% capacity.
Well, we've lost everything under the house. Fridges, washing machine, everything that's under there.
The worst at the moment probably about chest height water going through some homes down the street.
Oh, it's absolutely flooded. I haven't seen it like this in years.
What we're doing is sending out messaging. We're trying to stay ahead, but sometimes that's difficult because of the rain patterns.
It came up so quickly, it was literally half an hour from being down just below our fence line there to up to the level that it is now. So you can't plan or do anything.
Three days later, the gates of the Ross River Dam were fully opened. Releasing an Olympic swimming pool of water every second on Townsville.
But the amount of water is like shocking.
We come back today with a boat to get my neighbours and their cat.
It actually happened quite fast. All of a sudden, everybody actually said, "No, we're going to leave now. It's coming in."
It's just horrible. There's like nothing left.
Everyone's lost everything. All of our stuff's gone.
The monsoonal trough, we cannot control the weather. It sat over the dam, as the Mayor said, and it dumped a huge amount of water. With the catchments coming into the dam, the water needed to be released.
Our emergency services stretched to their limits, with countless calls for help in the middle of the night.
All right, jump up with me, mate. Hold my hand, we'll walk you out in the water.
There were kids in there were animals, and everyone was wet and drenched and a little bit frightened. I have to admit I haven't done anything like that before.
They came and got us in a boat with volunteers, and then we got taken all through the city with this big council truck.
It was quite surreal. You just see all these trucks driving past with 30, 40 people in the back of it.
Our Army men and women stepping up to help.
I'll be riding it out there for a while. I've got nowhere to go.
Someone was at the door and we knew that they were able to get taken away safely. It was the best sound I've ever heard, to be honest.
They had about 10 inflatable ribs, and yeah, they got us out there, amazing. And then we stayed at the Army Hilton.
A lot of those people are securing their family, putting the cam straight back on and getting back out in the streets, which is just a testament to their commitment.
Once the rain stopped, the epic cleanup began. Tomorrow night, we take a look back at how our city came together to get through this crisis. Emily Steinhardt, Win News. February's catastrophic flooding made international headlines.
Thousands of residents in the Australian city of Townsville have been warned of unprecedented flooding.
Days of rain and declarations of disaster.
Devastating flooding in Townsville, Queensland.
Monsoon rains are forcing more than 1,000 people to be evacuated from Townsville.
People in the city of Townsville have been battling the deluge for days.
The Prime Minister, followed by the then opposition leader, visiting some of the hardest hit suburbs, vowing to help us get back on our feet.
There'll be tens of millions spent here in Townsville to support the local community get back up on their feet just in those cash assistance payments alone, income support payments.
I say to corporate Australia, who've been good so far, now's the time for the banks and the insurance companies to keep your end of the bargain.
Despite the devastation, our resilient, tight-knit community came together, digging deep.
Yeah, we've got a little bit of a chain gang, so to speak. We've got people tying bags, we've got people filling bags. Some of the fitter, stronger people are throwing them in the backs of trailers and utes.
No matter who you are, no matter where you're from, you might have been here for 20 years, you might have been here for 20 minutes, people just jump in and do it all together.
Our Army men and women pitching in where they could, removing sandbags and damaged belongings from flooded homes.
Cleanup could take for the better part of a week to do. We're just waiting to hear out from the council, see how best we can assist the local community.
At this stage, we don't want to affect their ability to claim insurance or anything like that, so we're quite limited as to what we can do inside private residence.
Honestly, when I see them, I'm relieved because I feel, that they're there for us.
People from across the state eager to lend a hand in the cleanup efforts. Fireys from as far south as the Sunshine Coast travelling north to help their Townsville colleagues rebuild.
Probably a bit of both nervous and excitement. We're happy to go out there and help out, but we also don't know what's going to face us when we get up there as well.
I know what floods can do. We've worked in the Brisbane and the Bundaberg floods together, so looking forward to getting up there and giving them a hand.
Thousands of litres of vinegar were donated from Stanthorpe after Townsville stocks ran dry to help combat the growing mould outbreaks.
They were willing to help me with vinegar, like supplying it here. They donated 4,000 litres, and I thought, well, I'll pay for the freight and we'll get it here.
Some flooded completely inside, mould all through a charter boat, for example, who can't now operate, can't even live on his boat.
Thanks to these nice people, we can at least do something, we can keep it away. Yeah, what can I say?
When the rain cleared, we were hit with a scorching heat wave. Temperatures climbing close to 40 degrees.
Well, it's really drying everything out, that's one good thing, but on the other hand, it's very, very hot and humid.
Business operators hit the streets, offering food to people doing the hard yards and rebuilding lives.
People come through like this and just gave me a bottle of ice cold water.
As the water continued to recede, the true devastation in the northwest was revealed. Half a million head of cattle wiped out, leaving graziers devastated. The Prime Minister both shocked and heartbroken by the sheer scale of the loss.
We are going to rebuild the cattle industry here. That's my message to the people of North Queensland. With my government working together with everyone else, we're going to rebuild the cattle industry here.
If anything, nature has been most cruel to our farmers. I travelled with Cloncurry Mayor Greg Campbell and I saw the despair of dead cattle kilometre after kilometre. These images will stay with me forever.
The cleanup would continue for months, with some residents even now still unable to return home. On Monday night, we'll take a look back at how 2 weeks of flooding left locals with issues many are still battling today. Emily Steinhardt, Win News. One by one, businesses slowly started to repair and reopen.
That first week was pretty devastating. There was like a roller coaster of emotions. Great to be able to open and catch up with everybody.
It's exciting today, there's no doubt about it.
Unfortunately, it wasn't so easy for everyone. Even now, almost 11 months on from the natural disaster, those worst hit suburbs are still filled with tradies.
Personally, didn't think it was a big issue. I thought it was more, we'll mop it all out, clean it up, dry it out, and life will be wonderful. And then gradually over time I came to realise that life wasn't that simple.
I wouldn't want this on my worst enemy. It's been that hard. I think for the first 3.5 months, 4 months, I think I just cried nearly every day. When you've got a whole life of 30 years together and you've got to throw it all out.
Oh, it's my jewellery box from when I was really little.
It's really hard.
For people who are still out of their homes, that sense of being displaced and the ongoing sense of not knowing what's going to happen is a huge factor on people's mental health.
With thousands of people forced out of their homes, Townsville's rental properties were almost immediately snapped up.
Rental markets in Townsville normally operate between 3 and 4% vacancy, and even 3% is considered a tight market. We had a viewing the other day on one of our rental properties, and we had 30 people turn up to the inspection.
Sometimes we have had no accommodation during the V8s and during the Oceania games. We've had to sleep on the floor and at work.
The monsoonal downpour also sending insurance premiums skyrocketing.
We've heard of premium increases between 50 and 100%. We've heard about postcodes being abandoned.
I devalued the house at $20,000, but for the fact that it's an old home anyhow, and I don't believe it's worth the price that they quoted.
Roundtables still being held in our region in November, hoping to find a solution for our flood-ravaged community.
I was in Debbie with my husband, and compared to Debbie, the floods have been 1,000 times worse.
I want them to explain to me what they see their role in improving this situation and trying to ensure that North Queenslanders get the best possible deal out of them.
The Australian Competition and Consumer Commission releasing its second inquiry into insurance in North Australia last week, finding an estimated 17% of homes in North Queensland are uninsured. 95% of those without insurance say it's unaffordable, with the average premium for North Queensland at $1,870, double the state average.
People just can't afford it. Well, my insurance went from about less than $2,000 probably up to about $5,000, $6,000.
People say anecdotally that's because we have cyclones and so on, and then also anecdotally we say, well, Brisbane has terrible storms and so on as well.
The road to recovery is a long and difficult one, but Win News is proud to be there every step of the way, sharing the inspiring stories of our resilient community. Emily Steinhardt, Win News.